I'm far from home, no place to go, but I don't feel cold. I've been so blind, just lost my mind, but all I have lost I find. Your face reminds me of these games, the memories don't erase. I'll never be the same anymore, I'm on the highest top with no control. And you done, I open my eyes, do you remember me? I carried on, through all of these years you've been my fantasy.
All right, everybody, what is up? Welcome to Nexus Commentaries as we are covering Tespa tonight, which should be absolutely exciting. In the first game, we've got IUPUI, who we have covered in the past, has looked very, very strong in the meantime. And they are taking on Texas Tech University, who is new to this stream. First game looks like we're going to be going to Dragonshire, so we'll see if how IUPUI, who I understand had just gone through a boot camp here recently with some very positive results, as I'm told. We'll see how they perform against Texas Tech here, and first game is going to be on Dragonshire. So very excited. This seems to be the first map of the week in Tespa action. So looks like we are just waiting on the teams to ready up. I know one side is already ready to go. That was a mouthful to say right there. So, hope everyone is having a good night tonight. Again, thank you for joining us here at Nexus Commentaries as we cast the Tespa Training Grounds. I am Zexorus. To my right is my cat. As I do not have a co-commentator tonight, I am flying solo, but Henry Hatercat Meowington's the 8th is always with me. So here we go into the game. So, and now I know what I'm calling TXZ. We're calling them text tonight, apparently. So, this a really good map to utilize very aggressive push strats on. So we'll see if IUPUI decides to go that route, or Texas Tech. It can draw out some peculiar picks at times, though we do see Dahaka banned a lot here, as global mobility is just an absolute menace to deal with. So we'll see if Texas Tech, who seem to have the first ban, agree with me, or if they decide to ban something else out, and instead they decide that they're going to hover that Garrosh ban, and I can't really blame them. Garrosh is just an absolute menace, if I'm honest. And that Garrosh ban does come out from Texas Tech. We'll see how IUPUI, they decide to very quickly ban the ETC, not wanting that big, beefy meat shield to interfere with the sick guitar solos. Now we turn it over to Texas Tech, who has the first pick. We'll see if they decide to tip their hand early, go with an overpowered pick that kind of dictates their draft, or if they go with something a little more subtle as to not reveal their drafting strategy. They are using quite a bit of time on this pick, debating what they want. And really, that's not the worst strategy in the world. You want to be absolutely committed to what you're going to go with. They go with the Vala. Nice, solid opening pick on the side of Texas Tech. Really like it. Her wave clear is incredibly good. Her ability to burst down. Whoa, IUPUI getting fancy. The Zul'jin and the Morales right out the bat. Now, the question is, will this be a Guillotine Zul'jin or will this be a Tazdingo Zul'jin? The prospect of a low health Zul'jin that's stim droned is absolutely terrifying, but here recently I have been seeing a lot more Guillotine getting picked up for that that huge amount of damage that it can put out. And if they've got something to lock down a target while that Guillotine is in the air, well, that could be a really, really bad time for Vala. But they banned out that ETC, so that mass form of crowd control right there, they feel that ETC is going to really mess things up for them. So, with the next two picks, Texas Tech take the Stukov and the Brightwing, so they go double healers. So we're looking most likely at a hyper carry Vala right here, which can work. I don't know how the Brightwing's gonna work out against this Zul'jin. Range versus range usually tends to favor the higher damage character. So we'll see what the next ban on the side of IUPUI is gonna be. Taking their time right here. Now, again, the Vala and the Stukov, they pair very, very well together, especially post 10. Being able to isolate a target and separate them with those flailing swipes, and Vala keeping them pinned down with a Rain of Vengeance. It's going to be a really nasty combo. They ban out the Murden. They feel, it seems like IUPUI feel like banning out the reworked Murden is definitely in their favor right here, and it's making me curious because that's 3 tanks they've banned out, and there's not that many more on the field at this point. And if Texas Tech ban out something like an Arthas, you got Johanna, you got Zarya. You don't have many top tier frontliners at that point. Leoric's still on the board, so we'll see what Texas Tech here decide to follow. If they decide to just ban all the tanks out and let the chips fall where they may. Very, very curious as to see what this next ban. They're going to ban the Uther out. They don't want that Uther divine shielding up that Zul'jin. So with that, it makes me think that maybe IUPUI may pick the Guillotine for this Zul'jin in terms for a heroic. Next two picks going to the side of IUPUI. And really, they need a tank at this point. I really feel like Morales could shine in this case as a solo healer. And that the onus is on IUPUI to provide extra damage to get through that Stukov and Brightwing healing. So we'll definitely see what's coming up. Just a few seconds remaining in these next two picks. IUPUI taking their time. Here comes the Leoric and the Anubarak. So two just absolutely incredible tanks at this point. The reworked Leoric being just an absolute beast here recently, seeing lots and lots of play in Anubarak. Really, his utility hasn't gone down at all. And if Texas Tech is going for a hyper carry strat on this Vala, Cocooninger just ruins that. So Texas Tech really got to think about these next two picks. Do they pick another damage and maybe Johanna in this spot? Do they go with a specialist like a Nazebo? We'll definitely see what comes up as they just have just a few more seconds left in these final two pickups. Really looking forward to seeing what Texas Tech decide to grab here. All right, so they stray away from the Hypercarry Vala, and they go with the Malthael and the Arthas. And that will just give Leoric absolute fits in that solo lane right there, as Malthael just trades positively against pretty much any tank, with the Death Shroud being able to hit all those creeps and all the extra healing he gets, as well as doing that 2% max health over every second while Reaper's Mark is active. That's just going to shred. And they do go the double healer. So this is a hyper carry Zul'jin right here. This is they want Zul'jin to get this damage in and get it hard. The only thing that worries me is on the side of Texas Tech, they only have the Arthas as a tank, and that might not be enough, even with the Legion of the Dead, the Stukov, and the Brightwing backing him up. So here we go. Game one between IUPUI and Texas Tech University. Should be quite a game one. Well, based on the portrait synergy, I'm going to have to give the edge to IUPUI initially. I always like a good, solid team with nice portrait synergy, even if it is the very, very creepy monkey Brightwing. Everybody knows that monkey is incredibly just gives me the heebie-jeebies. Bobby Frank showing that he has the potato for the day, and into the game we go. On the left-hand side, IUPUI, Domovarian running on the Zul'jin, Zalori on the Leoric. Bobby Frank playing the Anubarak Aqualad is going to be playing the Doctor of Love, Morales, and Tex is going to be on everyone's favorite Brazilian, Lucio. And on the side of Texas Tech University, we've got Wales on the Brightwing, N-Dog on the Malthael, Tissue Wrench on the Stukov, and Super Boss Guy on the Arthas, and Aloe is going to be on the Vala. Looks like the initial plan is for Vala to hang back for just a bit, show up late, and maybe secure a kill. You know, I really like that Dahaka spray right there. The cartoon paper Dahaka is quite fun. Here we go. IUPUI deciding to push hard, push early. The grenade comes out, looking for some early stacks on that clear. Only manages to grab one person on that, and we already, but in the top, we already see the Leoric versus Malthael matchup coming into play. Ooh, nice route onto Zul'jin right there, and Texas Tech do take him down with a beautiful route from Super Boss Guy. Bobby Frank in a bit of trouble too, and they're going to claim two very quick kills as teams quickly separate. Aqualad sticking behind the gate right there to stay safe and soak this XP. Lucio not looking like he's in a happy spot right now, though, as these shrines spawn for both teams. Wales doing his duty, grabbing the bottom shrine for the side of Texas Tech, turning it red like their school colors. Zalori having a little bit of trouble right now against N-Dog, as Tissue Wrench is also working on this top shrine. But in the meantime, IUPUI do take back the bottom shrine. Nice little boop there from Lucio, getting that extra damage. Domavarian coming in with that damage from Zul'jin, coupled by the healing with Aqualad. And it looked like Brightwing decided to jump to somebody real quick, but they ended up staying in the bottom lane. Domavarian just trying to get as much damage out onto these targets as humanly possible. He's doing a pretty good job of getting this creep wave pushed up and cleared. Tech's taking an awful lot of damage right now. Silence comes out from Domavarian and from Stukov, shutting Domavarian up quickly for just a sec. But this is just an awful lot of healing. Aloe getting a shift from Brightwing right there. Ooh, nice little bit of damage coming out from the Valor of the Q and the multi-shot, doing a fair bit of damage to Domavarian. Aqualad's a little bit low on energy right now, as this Arthas and Bobby Frank kind of positioning. Bobby Frank looking to delay this as much as possible. Arthas turns on the E and decides to try to go in, throws out the Frozen Blast, and nothing doing. But Vala goes down in the bottom lane. Domo doing a lot of work. Tissue Wrench in a bit of a pickle at the moment. The Grievous throw misses, and Stukov is free to tap the well and come back. A nice little trade there on the side of IUPUI and Texas Tech. But it does get IUPUI out of danger of Texas Tech grabbing that Dragon Knight. We do see Zalori here up at the top, grabbing this top shrine, but N-Dog has something to say about it. The Drain Hope hits onto N-Dog, kind of nullifying that Reaper's Mark right there. And now IUPUI does have control of both shrines, but they're not in a really position to grab it. Domavarian trying to go in right there, but the annoying arm from Stukov just making sure he doesn't. Aqualad not really in a spot to heal him, but does start having to heal him. The Whirling Axes miss right there, and Vala throws a Q to just force him further back. Vala is going the Hungering Arrow build, so Domo and company got to be very, very careful about their positioning, making sure they're not caught out solo, because that will just chain a ton of damage onto somebody. Aqualad back at full energy just now. The arm going down from Stukov. Ooh, nice Whirling Axes right there. Hit several enemies, and I do like that Domo here has taken Amani Rage just to get the... Oh, Lucio goes down to a beautiful combo right there. Aqualad in a lot of trouble. He may go down. The Arcane Flare from Brightwing does come out, and no, he stays safe, giving Morales time to heal himself back up. Using that healing beam. Leoric and N-Dog still going at each other, throwing that Drain Hope back out onto him, as once again Bobby Frank and Super Boss Guy just punching each other back and forth. Arthas slowly losing that push battle right there. But Domo, Brightwing trying to Z onto the Val right there, but did not work out. Got booped out of it. But now we do see tens come out on the side of Texas Tech, Tormented Souls, Flailing Swipe, Arthas holding that. Maybe it could be a Syndragosa, maybe not. Emerald Wind and Rain of Vengeance on the side of Texas Tech. And IUPUI on the verge of getting their own tens as well. We'll see Ultimates come out, Sound Barrier, Web Wrap, Guillotine. It is going to be a Guillotine and a March of the Black King. A nice grenade puts Brightwing way out of position right there. And Brightwing's coming back in for another shield. Ooh, Rain of Vengeance barely misses. And Aloe trying to get some work in right there. I think he's still got another Rain of Vengeance on deck. He has to vault away, giving him another Hungering Arrow to throw at just in case. Wales just doing a lot of good right now with this healing over time. This Vala Hyper Carry in the bottom's doing a lot of damage, but it's not. Oh, that was so close right there. Vala coming just an auto away from death. The grenade misses. That would have definitely been a death of Vala right there. Had that landed, and it does look like that. Zul'jin has finished that quest right there. So now those Whirling Axes come out twice. Ooh, that's awful lot of damage right there. The Zul'jin and the Vala both go down. Tex right there taking an awful lot of damage. Pops the movement speed to get them away. And now finally, Texas Tech regained control of that bottom shrine. Arthas doing just enough work to keep IUPUI from claiming that Dragonite, and we're, level 12s, and there's still no Dragonite claimed. So this Dragonite's slowly getting more and more value. Lucio, and it's a healer on healer fight. I don't think Stukov and Brightwing can win that. The Arcanite Axes do go out, and Brightwing goes down. Vala throwing as much damage out as possible, but nothing doing in the end, as IUPUI is going to gain control of this bottom shrine. Now it's on them to push these lanes out as hard as possible and force Arthas back. But that top shrine does get unclaimed. Leoric cleaning up the top lane, but we got to dive onto Bobby Frank from Super Boss Guy. Takes a few tower shots in the meantime, but I'd really like to see this Leoric grab the shrine, but instead he doesn't. Drops the Drain Hope onto Endog right there, and now Leoric is going for it. But back in the bottom, we've got another fight coming out. Aloe taking an awful lot of damage. Great stun from Bobby Frank right there onto Tissue Wrench. The Flailing Swipes come out, but it's not enough. Another stun onto Wales right there. He hits the ice block. Wales is going to go down. Vala is cocooned, not in a spot where she wants to be. The stun doesn't really hit, but that's not going to matter in the end. That's a 3-for-0 trade here in the bottom. We're going to follow Bobby Frank make his way to the shrine, but Super Boss Guy is right there. He is just waiting. It's not going the delay is not going to last that long, I think. Super Boss Guy is very determined, though. Leoric taking a fair bit of damage from this. Oh, the March of the Black King comes out. The phase shift from Brightwing doesn't go in time to give him that shield, and nice solo kill onto from the Leoric right there. Bobby Frank in a bit of trouble. Here comes Lucio. Here comes the crew, and the double Arcanine Axis both connect. The Sound Barrier coming out from Lucio. Super Boss Guy in a lot of trouble. I hear a stim drone. I'm assuming it's on Domo. Domo is going ham right now. Nice stun onto Wales. The Ice Block has to come out. He gets out of it. He is still in an awful lot of trouble. The Vala should be able to get away, but you lose your Arthas and your Brightwing in the process. And this is going to give IUPUI the first Dragonite of the game with a 2-level advantage, so this is definitely going to end up being a fort at least one. They'd already claimed the bottom fort in the meantime. Nice placement of that Dragon's Fire right there. The Arcanite Axe is going out once again. Endog taking an awful lot of damage. Here comes the Tormented Souls. He gets a big old heal, but it's not going to... Ooh, no, it is going to save him, but he just keeps hitting the Q to stay alive. The Dragonite already gone. Nice web wrap onto, it looked like one of the healers. Arthas does go down. Lucio goes down as well. 1-for-1 trade so far. Here comes the Leoric. He's looking for that Vala, or a good position for March of the Black King. It comes out and it hits onto Brightwing. Tissue Wrench in a lot of trouble right now. The Guillotine does miss, and this is going to be a 5-for-2 trade. Domo just, that Guillotine just doing so much work right now for IUPUI. I mean, I really like what Texas Tech is trying to accomplish with this comp, but that extra bit of healing from Lucio when team fights go down and the sound barrier just is kind of proven to be a little too much. We do see IUPUI grabbing their siege camp. They're probably going to run over and grab that other siege camp as well, as they might be able to do it quickly, but they decide against it. They feel like harassing Super Boss Guy a little bit more. Another annoying grenade for Morales right there. And we see Texas Tech taking their night camp, trying to get some pushback against this Leoric. The night camp will definitely help with that. And now in response to seeing that night camp top get taken, we do see IUPUI stealing that siege camp. Endog going in, knowing that they're on a talent tier, the same talent tier at this point. Nice root onto 2 right there. Here comes the stim drone onto Domovarian. He's going to start getting some attacks, and here comes the damage now. The Guillotine did get used, did manage to secure 2 kills so far. Nice snipe from the Morales right there with the grenade. Wales is on the retreat right now as Arthas falls in the back line. Nice ice block. Clever usage, but sadly doesn't save his life in the end. And now, wow, those Arcanite axes do a lot of damage to structures. That's kind of ridiculous. And now with the help of 3 siege camps, well, 3 siege creeps, IUPUI is going to take this bottom fort. The question is, do they try to push for fort? Zaloria is very much not about that life, and he is going to piece on out of there, probably headed to the top to stop that push as the remaining teammates go to the bottom shrine, and they're going to secure that for IUPUI. Bobby Frank already in the middle of the map, waiting for that Dragonite to pop, and they're going to go for it. So round 2 with the Dragonite, as IUPUI now have Storm Talents on their side. And it looks like IUPUI have decided that they're going to try to end this with the Dragonite. The Dragonite at level 20 is incredibly strong. Should be enough damage to get the job done. And Bobby Frank is taking an awful lot of damage, though, right now, as the nice flailing swipes keeps him back long enough. The shields have not been broken yet. Nice little Emerald win from the Brightwing. Tissue Wrench, though, in a lot of trouble right now. Another set of Arcanite Axis goes out, landing onto 2 Super Boss Guy, kind of low in health right now. Bobby Frank is taking an awful lot of damage. Is being kept alive, though. A double kill. 4 down, and that's going to be 5. Where the cocoon before Malthiel went down. That was a beautiful way to... that was a filthy lead up right there. Domovarian and company just showing what they can do right there. So that is going to be game 1 in the books in the favor of IUPUI. Real strong showing. I do like what Texas Tech was trying to get done right there. The Stukov and the Brightwing healing was definitely enough to help them keep pace there for a while. But it just they had IUPUI just ended up having the better heroes over the long run. That huge shield that just came out from Lucio was more. It was just more than enough healing to keep them alive in fights and allowing just Zul'jin to get such a ridiculous amount of work done. So that is going to be game 1 in the books of this best of 3. We're waiting to see what the next map will be on. I believe the teams are currently discussing it, and we'll find out here very shortly what exactly is going on. Thank you again for joining us tonight. This is the Tespa Training Grounds, prelude to Heroes of the Dorm. Tonight we've got IUPUI versus Texas Tech University, and in the 7:30 p.m. game, we will have Minnesota versus Dakota State. So please look forward to that. That should be another good game as well. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. I'm Zexorus, kind of the leader of Nexus Commentaries. I'm glad you could join us. We cast a variety of things throughout the week, from Tespa on Sundays to our own little league on Thursdays, and there's my lobby invite. So it looks like we're going to Infernal Shrines on game 2. Should be a good game. I believe TXZ is going to yell at me about calling him Tex that game. But now we run our own little league Thursday nights called the Rec League, but spelled R-E-K-T, Rect. So we hope you guys, any new viewers, come out and join us for that. It's a lot of fun. Usually I have a co-commentator with me most nights, but tonight I am flying solo. So rip my voice here eventually. As I get whispers from the various players. So we're just waiting for Texas Tech to load into the lobby, and we'll probably get this next game going here relatively soon. But yeah, Infernal Shrines is a really good map, especially if you want to try to bounce back on. Sometimes the cat does help with the commentary. Sometimes he just stares at me judgingly. It depends on what kind of mood he's in. Sometimes he just stands there and headbutts me. But yeah, the teams are asking me. So it looks like we are all ready for game number 2 for Infernal Shrines. And now I do expect an early pick or a banned Sonya here in this first phase. Or same with Arthas, because those two are just incredibly strong in the way they play this map. Arthas, just an incredible solo laner. Same with Sonya. Sonya has the incredible ability to solo shrines just amazingly easily. Greymane is also another strong pick, but Texas Tech hovering that Zul'jin ban. Obviously not wanting Domo to play that again. Domo just ended up being incredibly dominant right there. Just gathering up so many kills, and he finished all of his quests incredibly early. So they stick with that ban. They immediately ban the ETC from IUPUI, and this gives Texas Tech the first pick. So we'll see what they decide to go with here. Again, a Sonya pickup here or a Greymane pickup here wouldn't really shock me that much. And they are really thinking about this this pickup. So, and really, a Greymane doesn't tip your hand that much this early on in the draft. I still wish Kerrigan was viable at this point, but she just does not do enough damage to those skeletal minions anymore. So we'll see what Texas Tech decide to grab here. And they stick with the Valid. And really, Valid did a fine job. They just didn't have enough healing to keep her up in those team fights. But Valid was on point with her skill shots. She was landing arrows pretty consistently. We see the Rhaegar and the Greymane, so just an incredible jungling ability coming out on the side of IUPUI. And that's about all you can read from that. You're not seeing any particular play strategy come out of either team just yet. And now we get to see how Texas Tech decide to answer this strong opening, I'll admit, out of IUPUI here. I would like to see them go with something with a bit of control in this case. Maybe a Cassia followed up with something else. Cassia's blinds would be very helpful, especially on Greymane when he tries to dive in. We do see the Garrosh come out, though, and that was something I missed. Garrosh is going to be incredibly valuable in punishing Greymane when he jumps in, because then Garrosh really doesn't have to use his Q to pull him in. He's just, okay, you're here, go for a ride. And then that team, and then Texas can just burst him down from there. So really, this ban phase is going to be pretty crucial for IUPUI, now that Garrosh is in play. Because I'm going to assume they're definitely going to follow this up with some additional lockdown. There's the Sonya ban, so I'm not really shocked at that. I expect to see another strong tank ban. Excuse me, good God, I've got the hiccups for some reason. I expect to see another strong tank ban come out of Texas Tech. I think I do remember IUPUI playing Cho'Gall at one point. I've seen other teams play it and just absolutely just steamroll teams, and I've also seen the reverse happen. But Texas Tech kind of feeling like that this may be a Cho'Gall comp. I don't know if I can agree with that. Looks like they are going to stick with that Cho ban. Now, was it a bait, or did they actually call it out? IUPUI thinking about their next two picks here. What do they want to pair with this Greymane and Rhaegar? It might have actually been the Cho'Gall. It would have been this would have been the spot to grab them. I'm very curious as to see how this leads up. We see the Medivh, and that's going to be a Domovarian Medivh and an Anubarak. And Medivh, Domo's Medivh is very, very clean. So, but now that definitely raises some questions for Texas Tech, because the Garrosh throw has essentially been nullified at this point. Garrosh throws you, no problem. Medivh drops a portal, they're out. So they're definitely going to need some more control in this case. I wouldn't mind seeing a Muradin here, that additional stun, maybe even followed that up. Or an Arthas. An Arthas would prevent someone from going through the portal. And it would give them additional utility in the shrines, as well as being a strong solo laner. But the question is, who do you pair with that? I really think in this case, you pair a Tyrande with this. We see the Artanis and a Falstead, and that's an interesting pairing. Swap somebody in, gust the rest back, blow them up. Okay, so... And we see a Zul, and that's super interesting to me. So the question is this a 4-1 comp, with the Zul being the 1? Which can actually work on this. So do you sacrifice the bottom lane and, you know, punish the Zul constantly? Or do you just let the 4 and the bot just absolutely rampage? Because they do have the pushing power to make that push happen. With the Anubarak Beetles being able to soak tower shots and the strong healing out of the Rhaegar. So... bit of an unconventional draft coming out of IUPUI, but it kind of equally unconventional on the side of Texas Tech. So we'll see how this turns out. Teams are already loading into the game. Here we go, game 2, IUPUI up 1-0 over Texas Tech. On the side of IUPUI, like I mentioned, Domovarian is on the Medivh. Zalori is going to be on the Zul. Bobby Frank on the Anubarak. TXZ is on... It looks like the Gray Mane. I have not seen that skin yet. Aqualad is going to be on the Rhaegar. We got Artanis being played by Super Boss Guy. N-Dog on the Falstead. Aloe reprising his role on the Vala. Wales on the Garrosh, and Tissue Wrench also once again playing M. Bison. And Zul's headed out solo mid as they, IUPUI, look to very quickly push top. Let's see if they're successful in it. Beetle will probably come out. 2 Beetles come out, and they're going to start putting work into this top tower. Nice response out of Texas Tech. Not in time, though. The portal gets dropped, and they get home free. Domovarian getting swapped, taking a bit of damage. But now all this does is just put Artanis in a bad position. The rest of the Texas Tech did not exactly rotate with them. And now IUPUI in a really strong spot to get a second tower down. I do miss the old days of teams just pushing down a fort, guessing which lane it would be. But it does look like this has the potential to be a 2-1. Oh, TXZ going for a ride, gets thrown over the wall, goes down. Nice swap onto Aqualad. He's going to go down as well. The portal is there. What a beautiful save. Aqualad and Domovarian. Oh, another beautiful shield. Aloe hungry for this kill. He's not going to get it. He's going to go down. The throw from Domovarian, a bit too much. Is he going to stay alive? No, he's going to go down eventually. Aqualad hanging around just a bit too long. Does manage to get himself back. Here comes the rotation onto Zalori right there. He's going to go for a ride. Does he have a shield? He does have a shield to throw onto him. Nice. Nice, nice, nice return kill from Grayman right there. Ew, he gets a pickoff with the Gilnean cocktail. And things just kind of coming up roses for IUPUI. Super Boss guy sitting there on the Artanis. He's going to get spotted out, and this is a very, very positive situation for IUPUI at the moment, as they've already got those 2 front towers down. So there is really nothing to stop this Punisher, and they'll probably get the wall in the meantime. Oh, and the swap onto Aqualad right there doesn't really work out in his favor. The Q from Garrosh goes in. N-Dog really wanting that kill onto Greymane, but Numerak goes down in the meantime. This is a really good fight coming out of Texas Tech right now. Tissue Wrench taking a lot of damage, tries to get the arm down, doesn't happen. A 3-for-1 trade so far, and Greymane's still alive. The Bark comes out from Rhaegar right there, and he ends up getting the kill. Domo Variant just getting work done, and the only one left alive at this point is the Falstead, but I think that's because he died early on in that fight. They're going to hold off on taking any more skeletal minions, and instead they're just going to push. They're going to get this well down. They're going to try to. Allo coming in with that the auto attacks on that Vala. He's got to be a little bit careful. He's getting a good amount of damage onto TXZ right there. Wales comes in, throws the Greymane back. Domo Varian getting caught by that Q. Now, is TXZ going to get out? Yeah, the heal from Rhaegar comes just in time, and IUPUI pretty dominant at the moment. Almost a full 2-level lead at this point. This Zool has just been left alone in the bottom lane, free to push away. That's one thing I hadn't realized, that this is pretty much a 4v5. Super Boss guy taking a hefty amount of damage. Greymane does go down in the meantime. The Zealot charge comes in incredibly handy, but Zool just still dual soaking lanes to his heart's content, giving IUPUI just a great level lead right now. Bobby Frank going in, gets the shield, Burrow charges out, almost gets pulled back in. When Domo, having to use the shield for himself, hits the portal and is trying to get as much damage as possible. He has gone Master's Touch. He's just 3 stacks away from being an absolutely terrifying 3 stacks, and there it is. Master's Touch is done at this point, and now this is just going to be an insane amount of damage coming out of Domo Variant. He is just using these portals, shielding himself, going in. Greymane follows up, and now Domo Variant in a fair bit of trouble with a Bloodlust from Garrosh right there. Does end up getting a nice little kill. TXZ, though, gets a double kill. However, Texas Tech grab the Punisher, but they're going to lose 4 in the process, so... Oh, that was a beautiful little bait right there. Baiting the boss backwards. And now they're going to clean this up. All they're going to lose is that front gate. While in the meantime, Zool has just been an absolute menace. Gotten a bottom fort, gotten the front wall down. And Domo clearing out this mid wave with that Master's touchdown or completed. Like, he's just going to be shelling these people. Already 20k damage. Domo gets swapped, but believe Portal was off cooldown, so it wasn't going to amount to a whole lot. Back in the top lane, we're going to watch this Summoner Camp try to get some extra value right here. There's Bobby Frank and Aqualad and TXZ. They're looking to push this top fort down. A Cursed Bullet does go on. Oh, Domo Variant getting a kill. Medivh, though, goes down. The portal's right there. Zool trying to get out. I don't think he's going to be able to survive this. He throws the Bone Prison on to the Vala, but They both go down, and now we're seeing 10s come out on the side of Texas Tech. Got Gust, no surprise. I believe that's Rain of Vengeance, Flailing Swipe, Suppression Pulse, and I have no reason to doubt that that's going to be Warlord's Challenge coming out on the side, yep, of Texas Tech. Another, ooh, the Cursed Bullet does miss. The Q from Bobby Frank lands, though. And they're trying to clean this camp up as quickly as possible. This is going to be a bit of a dangerous fight. Suppression Pulse hits the ground, and IUPUI, kind of in a sketchy situation. Domo Variant gets swapped in, but he's just throwing Arcane Rifts out. The Ancestral Healing lands onto the Nubarak right there. Flailing Swipes coming out once again. Garrosh is now dead at this point. Domo taking an awful lot of damage. Falstead having to use the swipe. The Polybomb comes out. That means you get no shield, sir. Good day. Bobby Frank taking another fair bit of damage, but the Arcane Rift from Domo Variant is just being an absolute menace. And now the question is, do they push this mid fort down and then grab the shrine? We'll see. Zul working his split push up top. Tissue Wrench and Wales coming in. He's going to get pulled back, and I don't think Wales expected that to land right there. Tissue Wrench taking an awful lot of damage. The taunt from Garrosh comes out, and now the portal drops, and Zalori is just fine. We've got IUPUI securing this mid-shrine. They may decide to go for a camp right after this Punisher falls. It wouldn't be the worst idea in the world to deny that extra pressure, that extra push from IUPUI, but in the meantime, up in the top, Zalori and Domo just getting a triple kill just randomly. Suppression Pulse is coming out. Zul does fall. The shield, oh, Aloe gets out by the skin of his teeth right there. Domo Variant just being an absolute menace. The Blade Dash misses. Here comes the Cursed Bullet landing onto Super Boss Guy. He's going to go down. That was pretty much a 4-for-1. A little extended right there, but just incredibly strong play as this Punisher is now just pushing the bot lane. They're going to be able to clean it up, but I'm fairly certain that they are going to get this top fort instead. A gust from Falstead here wouldn't surprise me to get them off this keep, as the whole team is now just coming in at this point. The Flailing Swipes come out. It looked like Falstead was getting ready to go for a flight into a gust, but this fort is pretty much dead. Oh, where is that Falstead going? He's going down to the bottom as they are chasing Zul down. The portal does come out. Zalori is going to get slowed up. Skeleton Mages come out. Nice shield to prevent the damage from the Hammerang right there. IUPUI do secure that top fort, or top keep, and now they've got catapult pressure going on. They are just absolutely menacing. They have a 3-level lead at this point. Nice swap onto Domo right there. Nice shield onto himself right there to prevent any further damage. Here comes the suppression pulse, blinding all of them. But TXC nowhere to be found. Ganalian Cocktail does come out, looking for some extra stacks for that talent. And Bobby Frank gets thrown in, gets a heal as his... Oh no, the Ancestral not in time right there. Now IUPUI on the back foot ends up getting a 2-for-0 return right now. Very, very well played on the side of Texas Tech, not really giving up. But Zul is going to get this bottom keep. He gusts Zul into the bottom lane. Pops his shield. I don't think he's going to be able to get this in time, no matter how badly he wants it. They get that kill as Raymade and Garrosh are now taking the top summoner camp. And Texas Tech decide to do the same. Texas Tech slowly closing that gap. Almost caught up in talent tiers. And IUPUI kind of got to play this just a little carefully. Ooh. The Curse Bolt goes out, lands onto Wales, chopping off 30% of his hit points. The Suppression Pulse is coming down. A Rain of Vengeance doesn't really hit anybody meaningful. This Cocoon onto the Stukov right there. Buys him enough time to secure the kill. Now Wales is in a lot of trouble. The Ancestral comes down. Another portal from Domo to get aggressive onto Super Boss Guy. And this Arcane Rift damage is just too much to deal with. Zool hyper-focused on that bottom lane right now. Just constantly goes back to it. And really, Vala doing the smart thing, taking this camp so IUPUI can't grab it themselves. They are on the same talent tiers, but the bigger concern is this, is that top keep is down, so the win condition is open for IUPUI. Oh, Vala looking to be in a little bit of trouble. Vala gets rooted, and the Arcane Rift does miss, so he's going to be allowed to get away. Oh, Zalori going to get punished. He's going down. There's no way he's making it to that. He got to the portal. Another shield from Domavarian, and the... Is he going to... No, there's no way he survives this. Another beautiful portal, and now he's got some of his health back, but now Domavarian in a very, very precarious spot. The blind hits. Aqualad comes in with the heal, but Domo out of mana. He's got to get out of here. I think N-Dog should be able to secure this kill. Yep, there it goes. Seasoned Marksman now done, but he ends up going down, leaving Vala behind and alone to defend against this Punisher. Ooh, nice pull by Bobby Frank, followed up by the taunt. Is Bobby Frank going to go for a ride? Nah, off cooldown. Manages to survive. Just a little. Is Aloe going to go down to this Punisher? No, he's not. Barely, though. But they take a fair amount of core damage right now. Down to 60%. As IUPUI run around the map, secure as many camps as possible. I am impressed by Texas Tech's ability to play off the back foot. Nice burrow charge to get away from everybody. Stun on to 2 from the Anubarak. And now here come Texas Tech. Not really ready to throw the hat in just yet. As we watch the incoming defense, the Q from Nubarak barely misses on that Falstead as IUPUI have decided they want this Fort XP. That'll push them to 20. And now we're going to see what heroics come out. Shield Storm, Hunter's Blunderbuss, Rewind, and Arcane Brilliance. And that's actually... I've never seen Arcane Brilliance taken before, so this is actually a really... It looks like a really solid talent. It gives him a couple of extra abilities. Zool, once again, being a menace in that bottom lane, not giving up. The Zool gets out. Maybe he's going to... Oh, and beautiful Polybomb. And a shield from Medivh right there. Just absolutely ridiculous play coming out from the side of Domavarian. I'd say this play is almost Glarung-like, and just how clean it is. But I do believe that this could very well be GG. They've got the push. They're going to cap this last keep in the bottom lane. 3 lanes of pressure. 3 heroes down on the side of Texas Tech. And there's really nothing stopping them at this point. This is going to be a 2-0 win on the side of IUPUI. Just looking incredibly strong right now. So, GG's to IUPUI right there, taking a 2-0 victory over Texas Tech University. You know, I'm as strong as IUPUI is. I was really impressed with Texas Tech and how they stuck to their game plan. They were trying to make things happen. I think that the Zool last pick just completely threw them off. I don't think they had a real good answer for the pressure that Zool was going to bring those games, and they played their best right there. So, I mean, good games to Texas Tech University, but IUPUI proving, at least today, to be just a bit stronger. And from what I've seen of Domavarian, he is an incredibly versatile player. His Medivh is, as you've seen, was on point despite dying 5 times that game. You know, 47k hero damage, had some incredibly clutch shields to just drag picks on Zool out way, way farther than they had any right to go on for. I did like Alo's Vala. Very clean play, was able to stay out of damage, get her skill shots off, and lead into some solid kills for on the side of Texas Tech. So good games to both teams. We're going to take a quick break. We at 7:30 Eastern Time, we've got Minnesota. In Minnesota, you can catch perch as big as your face versus Dakota State University. So we will look forward to seeing you there. Enjoy the tunes, and we'll be back shortly.